In a professional environment, we often see two types of people. There are those who speak with complete accuracy, yet their ideas are rarely implemented.
That is quite true, Emma. Then there is the second group, individuals who possess a certain level of poise. They can navigate a room and guide a conversation toward a favorable outcome without ever sounding pushy.
They are practitioners of strategic diplomacy. It is not just about the words you choose, it is about how you position your perspective to build alignment and maintain professional harmony.
Many professionals feel that their current vocabulary is too limited for these professional interactions. They want to move beyond basic English and adopt a more refined, professional style of communication.
That is exactly why we are here today. We have prepared 3 real-world scenarios that demonstrate how to handle sensitive professional moments with grace and clarity.
By the end of this session, you will have a clear path to building your professional confidence. You will learn to express a different view politely and manage discussions with composure.
Let's begin by exploring how to offer a refined alternative when everyone else seems to be moving in a different direction.
Imagine you are reviewing a project schedule. Everyone is nodding in agreement, but your professional intuition tells you that the final phase is a bit too optimistic.
It's a classic spot to be in. If you stay quiet, you're not being helpful. But if you're too direct, you might lower the team's enthusiasm.
Instead of a direct correction, we use a technique called inclusive observation. It's a way to point out a potential gap while staying on the same side as the presenter.
It's about moving away from the plan is wrong to let's ensure the plan is sustainable. Let's see how it flows.
Mark, the way you've outlined the launch sequence is quite impressive. The logic behind the second phase is very clear.
I'm glad you think so, Emma. We wanted to make sure we reach the market as quickly as possible.
Looking at the execution phase, I'm curious about our capacity to maintain this pace if our external partners require more time than we've allocated.
That is a valid point. We've scheduled it quite tightly. Do you feel we should build in some extra room for maneuver?
I think it would provide a much safer environment for the team. It ensures we deliver the quality we're known for without unnecessary pressure.
I agree. Let's adjust the buffer to make the whole process more manageable.
Notice how we didn't use the word problem. A common approach would be, I'm worried about the deadline. We're going to fail if the partners are late.
That sounds a bit reactive, doesn't it? The refined version Emma used was, I'm curious about our capacity to maintain this pace.
Exactly. Using the word capacity instead of time or ability sounds much more professional. And instead of saying, if things go wrong, we said room for maneuver.
It's subtle, but it changes the tone from a complaint to a strategic observation.
Let's try this together. This is a useful phrase for any professional setting. I'm curious about our capacity to maintain this pace.
I'm curious about our capacity to maintain this pace.
Well done. Using a calm, steady voice helps you appear very professional.
Now, that works well in a meeting, but what happens when the setting is more social and you want to maintain your professional image?
You mean when someone asks a question that feels a bit too personal over a business lunch? That's where you need to know how to set a boundary with poise. We'll show you how to do that in the next part.
Business isn't always conducted in the office. Sometimes the most important conversations happen over lunch or a social dinner.
That's true. And occasionally, a partner might ask a question that feels a bit too direct, perhaps about your company's internal plans or even your own career moves.
If you decline to answer too abruptly, it might create an awkward atmosphere. The strategy here is the gentle redirection.
It's a way to acknowledge their curiosity without revealing any sensitive details, all while keeping the conversation pleasant and professional. Let's see how it's done.
This has been a wonderful evening, Mark. The atmosphere here is perfect for a relaxed discussion.
I agree, Emma. Speaking of discussions, I heard a rumor that your firm is looking to change its primary supplier soon. Is there any truth to that?
I'm always fascinated by how quickly news travels in our industry.
Well, people are naturally interested in your next move.
I can certainly say that we are always looking for ways to enhance our current operations. However, tonight, I'm much more interested in hearing about your experience with the new digital regulations. How has your team adapted?
A very fair answer. Well, as for the regulations, it's been quite a journey for us.
Notice how we handled that. A common, perhaps too honest response would be, "I'm sorry, I can't tell you that. It's a secret."
That immediately shuts down the flow of the evening. It feels like a barrier.
Instead, I used, "I'm always fascinated by how quickly news travels." This is a polite way to acknowledge the question without confirming or denying anything.
And then Emma used a professional transition. I can say that we are always looking to enhance our operations. It's a positive statement that provides no specific data, followed immediately by a question to hand the conversation back to the other person.
We call this returning the lead. It shows you are a confident professional who knows how to maintain boundaries with poise.
Let's practice this professional transition. It's very useful in social business settings. I'm always fascinated by how quickly news travels in our industry.
I'm always fascinated by how quickly news travels in our industry.
Well done. Your tone should be light and friendly, never defensive.
Setting boundaries over dinner is one thing, but what if a situation becomes more urgent? What if there is a misunderstanding with a client that needs an immediate professional response?
That is when diplomacy meets leadership. In our final scenario, we will look at how to take ownership of a situation while actually building the client's trust in you. You won't want to miss this one.
In a professional world, we aim for everything to go according to plan. However, in reality, there are moments when a service or a product does not meet the expected standard.
Those moments can be quite sensitive. Many people feel the need to apologize repeatedly, which can sometimes make a professional appear less confident.
True, Mark. But a strategic professional sees this as an opportunity for commitment re-establishment. Instead of just saying sorry, you focus on how you will enhance the partnership moving forward.
It's about moving from a reactive position to a leadership position. You acknowledge the situation and immediately present a plan for improvement. Let's see how Emma handles a client who is disappointed with a delay.
Mark, I appreciate you meeting with me today. I'm aware that the recent delivery schedule did not align with our usual quality standards.
To be honest, Emma, it has created some challenges for our team. We rely on your consistency.
Your feedback is entirely valid. We take full responsibility for this oversight. Because we value our long-term partnership, we've already initiated a new verification process to ensure this remains an isolated case.
That sounds like a step in the right direction. But how will this prevent future occurrences?
Beyond the new process, I've assigned a dedicated coordinator to oversee your account personally. We are committed to making our cooperation even more reliable than before.
I appreciate the transparency, Emma. It gives me more confidence to continue our collaboration.
Many professionals would say, "We are so sorry for the error. Please don't be mad. We will try harder next time."
That sounds a bit reactive. It doesn't give the client a concrete reason to trust you again.
Exactly. Instead, we used, "We take full responsibility for this oversight." The word oversight is professional and steady. It acknowledges the fact without using heavy negative language.
And the phrase reliable cooperation is much more effective than just saying good work. It implies a relationship that stays professional even through challenges.
By focusing on the verification process and a dedicated coordinator, you are providing a clear action plan, not just an empty promise.
Let's practice this professional statement. It shows both humility and professional strength. We take full responsibility for this oversight and are committed to enhancing our cooperation.
We take full responsibility for this oversight and are committed to enhancing our cooperation.
Excellent. That tone shows you are a professional who can be trusted to provide solutions.
We've covered a lot today, from professional pushbacks in meetings to handling social business conversations and turning challenges into opportunities.
These are the tools that define a strategic professional. But how do you apply these naturally when you are busy at work?
We've prepared a summary of the most effective phrases from today's session. Stay with us for the final practice to make these expressions part of your natural professional voice. We have covered a lot today, Mark, from providing a professional pushback in meetings to handling social inquiries with poise.
It's clear that professional success is often about the quality of our observations. Each of these scenarios showed how well-chosen words can maintain harmony while achieving a clear goal.
Exactly. This style of communication is a skill that grows with practice. It's about being a professional who listens and responds with courtesy.
Before we finish, we would love to hear from you. Have you ever faced a situation where you had to provide a different view in a group setting? Your experiences help everyone in this community learn together.
Now let's bring everything together. We have selected the key phrases from today's scenarios. This is your time to practice. Please repeat after us. I'm curious about our capacity to maintain this pace.
I'm curious about our capacity to maintain this pace.
Good. Let's try our next phrase for social settings. I'm always fascinated by how quickly news travels in our industry.
I'm always fascinated by how quickly news travels in our industry.
Nice, steady rhythm. Now let's practice taking responsibility. We take full responsibility for this oversight.
We take full responsibility for this oversight.
Keep that steady tone. Finally, let's look at building a path forward. We are committed to making our cooperation even more reliable.
We are committed to making our cooperation even more reliable.
You're doing great. These phrases will feel more natural the more you use them in your daily routine. Thank you for spending your time with us this evening. We hope these techniques provide you with more confidence in your professional journey.
We post new sessions every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. to help you refine your business communication. If you found this helpful, feel free to join us again.
Keep practicing your poise and your clarity. We look forward to seeing your progress in our next session.
Have a productive and pleasant evening. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.